like your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. 'Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure. You just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be.
So last video we showed the initial construction of the perimeter wall, and the reason we did that is that the electricians were bringing in their conduits through all the walls and floors and such, and so the working team could not work inside while they were doing that. But now that the electrician is finished with his conduits for most everything except the ceiling lighting, they've come back and have started the plastering of the first and second floor walls. So you can see the finished walls where the columns are, and of course the electrical and Ethernet outlets all over, as well as the spots for outdoor lighting. But there's also some unfinished walls. So this wall here and those two walls are unfinished because we have yet to install the insulation, the rock wool sound and heat insulation stuff. So once that's installed, they'll, of course, erect the double wall, the second wall. But this wall, on this side, it is finished. So you can see where the column has been etched out and where the beams are and stuff. So I'll jump ahead probably to the installation of that insulation either now or later in the video, or maybe in the next video, depending on how long that takes. But we have this Rockwool Pro Rocks SL 950, which is 50 centimeters. So, sorry, 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters. And if you recall, we have 7.5 centimeter bricks and then a 5 centimeter air gap. So you can kind of see that here with this line. So the insulation will be installed in this gap, and then the bricks, the second layer of bricks, installed afterwards, and then plastered and finished. So the kitchen, mostly done. Outlets, light switches, all that exposed and ready for the installation of the kitchen. So like this outlet there will be for the oven / microwave. Down here for the dishwasher, hot water heater, Ethernet cables, two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet cables, some charge ports for our phones and stuff. What is that? That's the cooktop, the induction stove. And up there is for the exhaust, the hob over the stove. To exhaust air outside, some more plugs for our phones and such, an outlet for the refrigerator, and an extra outlet there, light switches, etc. So before I show you the rest of the first floor, let me take you, actually, I'll go in here to show some of these rooms. This is the dog room here, storage room. And again, you can see these are unfinished yet because we haven't put in the second layer of walls and insulation. So here's a finished wall, and these are unfinished walls where the insulation will be installed. But this wall is finished. That's already a double wall. And we did that early because the IT people wanted to install their channel into the gap in the middle. And as I mentioned before, this is where we'll put the insulation for that, into the entertainment room. This room here is the solar, laundry, IT, electrical room. So those will both be insulated and double walled for sound and heat and vibration. As I mentioned before, the solar inverters can vibrate and make a pretty annoying sound. So here on the outside walls, they've pretty much done all 4 walls on the first floor exterior walls. And if you notice from the other 2 walls, and maybe I'll show you this wall real quick, there's electrical conduits coming out for the lights that will be mounted on the side of the house. But those have not been installed on this side, and that's because right here is going to be the parking area, and then there'll be a covered walkway up to the steps. And that covered walkway will have the lights for this side of the house. But if you can see, there's 4 lights on that wall, and I think about 6 on the front and 4 on that side. I'm not sure how many lights we'll have here for the walkway, but we'll get to that probably in a couple months. So they're working on the second floor right now. I'll take you up there in a second to show you that progress, or maybe just skip ahead to its completion. But before I do that, I'll just show you the rest of the first floor. Still lots of mortar for them to bring up to the second floor, and the, what do you call this stuff, the admix proof that they're mixing in with the plastering. So again, conduits for both electrical and IT are ready to go. Here we have electrical because we're going to have an automatic electrical blind that comes down here and in the window upstairs of the hallway. And those will be set to come down according to the sun's location, you know, to keep out heat and so forth. So that was the first guest bedroom. Here, as I mentioned, is where we're going to have the potable water system to back up the main filters out there, and plumb that into the refrigerator for making ice, drinking water, cooking water, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure when they'll do the painting. I believe painting comes after we do the ceilings and after we do the floor tiles. We've picked out all the floor tiles for inside and outside, and carpeting in most of the rooms upstairs. And we're also putting like a rubber, I don't know what it's called, some type of rubber on the gym floor. So I think that gets done before painting. So they do plastering of the walls, then do the ceiling, the drop ceiling, install all the lighting, mount the cameras and access points, and then I believe the floor tiles, the carpeting, and only after that's done will they paint. So I think they paint before they do windows and doors, but I'm not entirely sure. But whatever the case, so we'll cover the ceiling insulation, the ceiling lighting, the floor tile and carpet installation, painting, windows, doors, that sort of stuff. So it's going to start getting very busy soon. I mean, this plastering process takes a long time, but once that's completed, a lot of stuff will happen in rapid succession. So should be quite a few videos coming out in the next couple of months. All right, I'll take you upstairs to the second floor. So I've actually skipped ahead a day. We're now in the upstairs living room. Plastering is continuing up here, but there's still a ways to go. We've done the living room, the hallway. They've started on the bedroom. Started to bring up more and more of the mortar. And still working on this wall here. They've done most of the walk-in closets. If you watched a few videos ago, you'll remember that we put electrical conduit here because we're going to do built-ins. And we want, when you open those doors and drawers, for the lights to come on automatically. So making good progress, but I think that we will probably cut the video here and skip to a time lapse of all of this plastering and cover the insulation of the rooms downstairs in the next video when we do ceilings and some more electrical stuff. So we will see you next week. Stay tuned if you would like to see the progress so far in a quick little time lapse. Thanks. See you next video.